3 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is how many cups of tea people drink around the world every single day. Green, black, iced, doesn't matter. It's this one simple drink that connects all of us. So how on earth did a humble leaf become a global ritual? Well, let's find out.
So that's what we're diving into right now. We're going to unfold the incredible story of tea, tracing its journey from what might have been a complete accident to a global phenomenon that has literally shaped economies, sparked wars, and even defined entire spiritual practices.
I mean, seriously, think about it. This is so much more than just a beverage. This is the story of how one leaf became a cornerstone of ancient medicine, a focal point for religion, and the fuel for globe-spanning empires. And it all starts not with some grand plan, but with a legendary accident.
Okay, so let's rewind way, way back. We're talking over 4,700 years ago in ancient China with a legendary figure, Emperor Shennong. He's the man who, according to the stories, is basically the father of tea. Legend has it the emperor had this rule that all drinking water had to be boiled for safety. Smart guy. So one day he's just chilling outside and a few leaves from a wild tea tree just happen to drift down right into his pot of boiling water. He takes a sip, he's amazed by the flavor, and bam, with that one single accidental taste, the world's favorite drink was born. And from that one legendary moment, tea just took off on this epic journey. After being discovered in China, it made its way to Japan in the 9th century, finally reached Europe in the 1600s, and then led to these massive plantations in India in the 19th century. But it didn't start out as the comforting drink we know today. Oh no. In its earliest days, tea was medicine. I mean, people would literally chew on the leaves or boil them into some kind of soup. It wasn't until China's Qing dynasty that it transformed from just a remedy into a daily ritual, a true symbol of culture and a way to connect with people. In fact, it became so important that in the 8th century, someone wrote the world's very first book dedicated entirely to tea, called The Classic of Tea. That's how you know it was a really big deal. And of course, you know something this good isn't going to stay a secret for long. Pretty soon, tea was crossing the sea to Japan and traveling along the dusty paths of the Silk Road, and it kind of transformed with every new place it went. Especially in Japan. When tea got there, everything changed. Buddhist monks brought it over to help them stay awake during long meditations, and they elevated it into what's known as Chanoyu, the Japanese tea ceremony. This isn't just about drinking tea. It's this incredibly profound spiritual practice focused on finding mindfulness and harmony. And it wasn't just for monks either. Samurai warriors actually adopted the tea ceremony to sharpen their focus and discipline. Meanwhile, as it traveled west on the Silk Road, it became something totally different again, a universal symbol of hospitality, a tradition that is still central to life in the Middle East today. But the real game changer, the chapter that took tea from being culturally important to a global obsession, that all started in the 1600s when it finally got to Europe, and one country in particular just fell completely in love: Great Britain. At first, it was this fancy luxury just for the super rich. But then, wow, the British obsession just exploded. Imports went through the roof in just over a century. Tea became this massive economic force that fueled global trade and, well, a whole lot of colonization. The demand was so insane, people would do anything to get it, or to fake it. Tea was so valuable that counterfeiters would mix real leaves with other plants and, get this, even sheep dung to stretch their supply. If that doesn't tell you how intense the craze was, I don't know what will. So, Britain's thirst became unquenchable. They didn't just want to buy tea anymore, they wanted to control it, the whole operation. This desire for more tea, more supply, and more control was about to change the world. Their solution was to set up huge plantations in the Assam region of India, a place where they discovered tea could grow perfectly. Now, this part of tea's history is tied directly to the British Empire and its colonial rule, which often relied on forced labor to produce the tea that Britain was demanding. So out of this really complicated, sometimes dark history, tea spread to literally every corner of the planet. But it wasn't just adopted, it was adapted. Every culture that got its hands on it made it their own. I mean, just think about it. You've got the sweet, refreshing mint tea in Morocco, the strong black tea in Turkey, the
the spiced chai that is the absolute heartbeat of India. Even modern inventions like bubble tea from Taiwan. It's one leaf expressed in a million different delicious ways.
So, the next time you pick up your mug, whether it's filled with Earl Grey, matcha, or just a simple black tea, just take a second. You're not just holding a warm drink. You're holding nearly 5,000 years of myth, medicine, spirituality, and empire.
And all that history brings us right back to you. So we'd love to know, what's in your cup? What's your go-to tea? Let us know what it means to you.